Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to episode 20 of the Unleash and Thrive podcast with Olu Olabode. I am so excited today because this is a special one. Today, I have my husband on the podcast. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. So it's exciting. And this week, we're celebrating our 20th year anniversary. So we're 20 years in marriage this week. So I am so excited. So by the time you're watching this podcast, it'll be like our 20th year anniversary. So today I have him here. I'll get him to introduce himself.
Well, good good day, everyone. Yes, it's great to be here. My name is David Olabode, and I've been married to this lovely lady for almost 20 years in a few days.
Yeah, by the time they're watching it, I've been 20 years already. So today what we want to do is we want to just share with you 12 things that have helped us thrive in our marriage, in 12 things that have just kind of helped us along the way in this journey. So we're gonna just start off. Maybe you want to start us off with on one of them.
Well, as believers, as people of faith, the first thing is let God be at the center. That was was the one who brought us together over 24 years ago. We've been married now 20 years. God was the center of everything for us. That was is the magnet, just like the Bible said that you know I talk about can two work together? I said there's an agreement, but there's somebody in the middle of that, a trickle stand, a strand that cannot be easily broken. So God is at the center ultimately, and that is why we're still together. We're not part of the statistics of people who, you know, get together and then they don't last. So God is the one holding us together.
And as we were talking, I was just thinking maybe we should just give people a taster of maybe how we met, just to give them an idea, instead of just jumping right into the 12 things. A little bit of the story, maybe.
Well, we were in Jos, in Jos Plateau State in Nigeria back then, and 1997 was it? Yeah, and
Was it 1997?
it was 1997 April. I still remember that day. I was an assistant parish pastor of a church. So my pastor had traveled. He happens to be a pharmacist, so he was usually out of town. So every time he was out of town, I was the one in charge of the. So on that Sunday morning, we just finished our Sunday morning service, and then I jump on a, bike transportation, right? And then she happens to be, the church where she was worshiping was our area headquarters at the time. So our pastor was, our area pastor. So I took our report. Then you go with your report. It's in paper form. So it wasn't electronic at the time. So I went there. But before then, let me just back up a little bit. I usually from Lagos to Jos, where we were in the university. Usually go on these long, like Greyhound buses, which is like a long shuttle bus. She was on a different bus, I was on a different bus, and then we happened to get to just the bus terminal very early in the morning, and it wasn't safe to make your way home at the time. You don't want to go and get into trouble. So the buses will wait at the terminal, and then the passengers we will be on the bus waiting until it's safe enough to go home. So then I heard somebody call her name.
Yeah, I think I came out of our bus that I was in. Like I was in a different bus. I came out of our bus and I came into the bus that you were in.
Yeah.
Because I'm, as usual, like that. I like to talk.
I think she had a friend on her.
I had friends there, so I came to talk to my friends.
So I heard that name, and I was like, well, I heard the name. It was very unique, right? So that was it. But when I now went to I think it was a weekend.
Yeah, so, it was a weekend.
On Sunday, just a few days after we arrived, I went to our church to submit our monthly progress report. And then there I was, they had not finished their service at the time. So I was just trying to wait. And then a brother came out who was the campus fellowship for the church the campus fellowship for the church we were at the time, and he saw me, so he was like, oh, he greeted me, he called me Pastor. Oh, just wait, I have he called me by my middle name, Pastor Dila. I have somebody I want to introduce to you. And then he called, he just called her, and he mentioned it, and then he introduced. I said, oh, meet this sister, and I was like, okay, I know her, and he was
He
looking
was
like
puzzled.
he didn't really know what I was talking about, and then he was like, okay, so yeah, she's moving to the hostel, to the campus residence, and so you are the one there, because I was at the point, I was the one that was on the ground. And I said, okay, so you take care of her, help her to whatever she needs to settle in. And yeah, that's no problem. And so I gave her my room number, that when she gets to the residence, she should just reach out to me. And so she did that. 8 months later, but after that, I heard in my spirit, like, that's your wife. I'm like, no, because I was actually
Because I
just
didn't look like it.
she didn't look like it, and I was just coming out of a relationship that failed. And my heart at that time, I wasn't even really looking for anybody. I was just like, well, I've got to continue to serve God. That's all I was interested in. Not interested in having any relationship. But until one day, about 8 months after that meeting, God said, that's your wife, and if you refuse to accept this one, don't pray concerning his spouse again. I'm like, what? So, and tomorrow, if you ask me, how did I even tell her that, this is your God's will for me as a wife? I can't even tell you exactly how I said that. I don't know what I said, but here we are together 20 years after.
No, I think we just used to talk, really.
Yeah, we were first friends.
Yeah,
It took a
we used
while.
to talk. We just used
It
to
took a
talk as
while.
friends.
For like 8 months after
Yeah.
that first meeting, she came on. We had the fellowship. We just talk, and there
Yeah.
wasn't anything. We were just talk, and I still had a hangover from the previous relationship. I was still hurting, so we just talk, and then we became friends, and so it was very easy from there forward to be able to, like, okay, you
Yeah.
know what, this is the will of God. There is no doubt. We've had up and down, we've had challenges, but through it all, God has been at the center of everything. And that's why
Yeah.
we're still together today.
Yep.
Glory be to God.
Okay. So
Okay.
number 2 of our 12 things that have helped us thrive as a couple. Number 2 is make prayer a priority.
Oh, yeah.
So
That
yeah.
that is very, very, very important. She's a very prayerful woman. And I mean, where we are today, um, we wouldn't be here without that prayer. I remember when we're in England and the Lord was moving in my heart for us to move to Canada. And, I didn't know how to tell her that, because I was like, I don't know what she's going to say. And I wasn't surprised when I kind of mustered the courage to tell her when she said, oh,
Yeah, I think you said you told God
I told God to talk
to
to her.
tell
So,
me
yeah,
himself.
she prayed, she's your daughter, God talk to her.
And he
Because I
did.
don't know how I'm gonna say this. And so when I mentioned that I see that normally we just talk. We don't
Yeah.
plan. Some couple, they have to plan, they have to arrange, like they are booking an appointment to talk. We don't. We just talk. So and so when I told her we'd like to talk when we get home from church, yeah, she knew it must be something serious. So she was like, "Oh, is he about Canada?" And I just like, "Wow, you knew already." And so it's been prayer. It's been prayer, even when she wasn't there, like, as in when she was going through tough time, it was just prayer all through. We prayed through everything,
Yeah.
and that's why by God's grace we're here. We pray over our children, as they are growing up. It's prayer. We pray over the ministry, we pray over
Pray over everything.
everything, the
Yeah.
businesses that God has given unto us, and,
Everything.
and everybody around us. Yeah,
Yep. Prayer is big.
yeah, it is.
Work as a team. That's it. That's an interesting. That can be a hard one, especially because
Mm.
sometimes the children try to kind of come in between if you're not careful.
Well, I don't think it's only the children. It's even people around us too.
Yeah.
They try to, our family. From the beginning, we told our parents they were still alive then. I had one alive, my mom, and
And
she
I
had
had
her
one.
dad. But we told them at the point that, you know what, we called them immediately. We got married, because those were some of the
Yeah.
values that we actually, they were things we discussed. It wasn't after we got
Mm-mm.
married. Before we got married, those are things we discussed. And one of the things is like, okay, we're gonna work as a team. So we told our parent, whatever you are going to say to her, to my, I mean, I told my mom, whatever you're gonna tell me, and my wife will not know about, don't even bother because I'm gonna let her know.
Yep.
And the children also, they see they see
Mm-hmm.
that as much as possible, we work as a team. There's a common front when it comes to things. We rather disagree among ourselves and agree than for people outside to see that we are not in agreement.
Mm.
If at all there's something like that, and we're not gonna agree, instead of making our disagreement known to people, one of us will keep quiet, and then
Yeah.
we'll talk about it together
Mm-hmm.
on our, when we're together. Like, I'm not. I don't think we should do that. Let's think better
Yeah.
about that. And that has really, really helped us. It
Mm-hmm.
has really, really helped us.
Yep. Yep. Number four, celebrate your differences.
Yeah.
It's funny. We are very different, but
I'm an
yet,
introvert.
yeah.
Even though
Even though I haven't agreed with that.
a lot of people think, oh
Yeah, you always say
yeah,
because you became a pastor and then that made you kind of like an
it was
extrovert.
so bad when I was growing up that my sister, we do something bad, and then maybe I'm out of the house. Then by the time, because I love to play outside the house a lot, and so when I go, my walk around and all that, and I come back, and then she has done something wrong, and then she will mention my name as the one who did it, and then I'll come back instead of explaining myself and saying, "Oh no, 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 I'm not the one." She probably did it. I don't. I'll start crying. And I couldn't even explain. I would just start crying, and then for a long time, my mom didn't figure it out that my crying was not an admission of guilt. It was just the pain of being lied on. And so I could keep to myself. I can, even now, I can be in my house for a whole week and not go out and not miss going out. And there are a few things people. These are some of the things people don't know. Sometimes even to answer my phone is I just love my space. I'm a public person, but I love to be by myself. And that
Yeah.
is, she loves
And
to.
I'm on the other, I'm the opposite.
She's like, let's
I'm
do.
the, I like to talk. I like people.
Yeah.
There's so many things that do. I'm a morning person. You're
I'm
a
a
night
night person.
person.
You know what? I can stay up all night. In the morning, don't even bother.
But
Don't even.
I am a morning in the morning. Even if I sleep late in the morning, I'm ready to
No,
go.
no.
So I guess that's the. But it's interesting how when you get married to somebody, you just now begin to now say, you know what, we're not going to be the same,
Yeah.
but we need to celebrate our differences.
I'm also a deep thinker. I
Yeah, but I'm also a deep thinker.
Oh well, I don't know about that. You are, but I'm a deep thinker. One thing is about me is
It's maybe
I'm
because you
also
grew up with your grandma.
I'm also proactive. I can take decision
Yeah.
right on the spot, but I can also delay, especially when I'm not really clear about something. And that also comes with age too and maturity as you see things differently as you grow. So.
Yeah, it's so important for couples to celebrate our differences because I
Yeah.
find when you first get married, like normally the first 5 years, a lot of us will first think of, oh, this person is like this. I don't like that thing. I want to change you. But if you now take a step back and say, you know what, I'm going to try and just enjoy who
Mm.
that person is, you will find out that, oh, okay, I can actually, this person is actually complimenting me. Because I find that if you actually give us somebody that is like us to get married to, I can't even imagine how the house would be.
Can you imagine if I'm married to somebody who's an introvert like myself? Jesus Christ. That means
And if he's an extrovert as well, I'm sure they will be fighting. There'll be so much going on.
but I notice with couples though, God always is like God bring opposites to
Yeah,
complement each other. Then you're not to compete. You're not
yeah,
competing. You
yeah.
just you know kind of celebrate your differences, and appreciate each other for being
Hmm.
different, uniquely different.
Uniquely different.
And
Yeah.
and once that is, because we all need to be accepted, not to be accepted when we're not doing great, or but our uniqueness need to be celebrated, and that's exactly what we do. By the grace
Yeah.
of God, we do that.
Mhm. Number 5, prioritize each over your children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they were little, though,
When
it
they
was
were little, it was
difficult.
harder.
Yeah, it was difficult when they were little, and I
Mm.
remember especially my first one, our first son. He will come to our bed,
At
and
any time of the night, any time
he
of
will
the
just come
day.
and sit right and sleep right in the middle.
Mm.
That was a challenging time, but we were able to manage that. But when we had a second son, he came 17 months after. But he loves to just sleep in his room, sleep on his bed. He was completely opposite of the other guy. But
Mhm.
yeah, the children have seen that over the years too. That in fact, recently I've been telling them. Yeah, I was telling the oldest recently, he's 18 now. I said, you know what? Don't think when you get older and you get married that my wife is then you have a baby. My wife is coming to sit. If she comes, I will come together. We'll come together. Every day we and they know that when I'm not gonna put them or we're not gonna put them over each other. No,
Yeah.
no.
Because when they go,
We
it's just
started.
gonna
I
be the
always
two
say
of
we
you.
started the two of us, and we're not gonna not that they will die, but we're gonna with the two of
Yeah.
us because sooner or later they're gonna grow up, they're gonna leave the
Mhm.
house, they'll probably set up their own family. Whether they're in the same city with us, the same country or not, they're gonna have their own family, and so you know it's gonna be the two of us how we started out. So
Yeah.
that's it, and that's why you find out sometimes when couple have been married 25 years, all of a
Mhm.
sudden they come out and they say
We're getting a
they're getting
divorce.
a divorce due to irreconcilable differences. And you're like,
Mm.
what are the differences after 25 years? One of the reasons is simply because they've allowed things, children, job, different things to come between them. And so that has undermined their togetherness. But they didn't know because life
Mm.
happens, right? And so you have to be intentional about that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really have to be. Number 6, keep third parties out. We've kind of mentioned a little bit about
Oh,
that.
yes, we did. And we still do. We
Yeah.
still do, and that's
Set
very
the
much.
boundaries
You have to set boundaries, not only with your family members but even friends.
with
Wow,
everyone.
there's a story that came to mind
The
now.
story of when we just got married. Is it that story?
Oh yeah, she was in England. She had been in London for
For about a year.
no,
No,
for two
no,
years.
for 2 years.
She has been in London for like 2 years before we got married, and I went to join her in England. And at that point, of course, she had her friends in the same church. They always do their, singleness, hanging out and stuff. Now she's married, and then unfortunately, we couldn't be together until 4 months after marriage. We got married in November. I joined her in March of the following year. So 4 months. So she was still married but single in a way because I wasn't there, and I was, single back where I was too because she wasn't there. So, and then our friend will be calling in the evenings. Oh, wait a minute. My wife had gone to work all day. She's back, in the evening, and we love to talk. We're each other's best friend. I had no friend. She was the only friend I had. So she was the one I could talk to. And then this person would be on the phone with her and they'll talk for like until one day I said, I'm gonna call her myself to tell her to stop calling you in the evenings. To stop calling you because you need to spend time together. We were able to manage that,
And
and
then I said, no, 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 I don't worry. I'll tell her
so
myself. So I think I did.
she told her, and
Yeah.
that's it. And so that stopped. And we told our parents from the beginning also no interference. And even when it comes to if our parent needed, financial support or whatever it is, at a point we had to say, as the man of the house, even our dad should channel requests through me so that we discuss it as a family, as a couple, and then we will get back to him. That took a while. It's always pushback, but you just kind of hold your ground. And also relationship, people who are just
Mm.
friends. Sometimes when people are trying to get me, they can't get me. They want to go through her, but it doesn't
Yeah.
work. There's nothing you tell this woman against me because she knows me more than anybody else, so she knows what I can do and what I cannot do. And so these are some of the things we've been able to kind of pretty much handle that very well.
Yep. Oh, this one is an interesting one. Practice the golden rule. Number 7.
Mm,
Practice the golden rule.
Yeah.
Do unto others as you want them to do unto
To do
you.
it unto you. Yes, it's been what we it's just been what we do. I'm a very compassionate person. I mean, she is too, but um, I don't know. Maybe because I'm an introvert and maybe my upbringing as well. Um, I am usually the first person to apologize when there's
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. I'm usually my wife will go on and but I'm the one that will like, you know what?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, I won't say, oh, you were the one who, caused the misunderstanding. I'll just say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Just for peace to reign. And I did that a lot in the early days. I still do.
Yeah,
You
but it
know,
doesn't even happen as
it
much
doesn't
again.
happen. You grow up and you
Yeah.
just like, wait a minute here.
And you get to know each other better so that you know what to do, what not to do.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that also has to do with it.
yeah.
But also, even with practicing the golden rule, I think for couples, for us also, is just putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Am I
Mm,
gonna? Would I want the other person to do this to me?
to me, yeah.
So, if you
Mm.
don't want them to do that to you, then why
Then
would you want to do it to
no,
them?
no, you will not. I mean, you see, and also I understand from the scripture that say you are one. So the scripture say when two of you come together, you become one. So now my own understanding is whatever I do to her is like I'm doing to myself.
Yeah.
So if I don't want to hurt myself, why will I want to hurt her? Because she's, we are part of each other. And so that is important in maintaining unity, peace, and longevity for your marriage, and your marriage becoming a testimony, of where people look at and say, wow, I want my marriage to be like
Mm,
that marriage.
yeah.
So we're grateful to God for that. Yeah.
Number 8, argue but don't fight.
Well, I call that fighting fair.
Yeah.
We that's one of the things
Present your case.
yeah, that was one of the things we started with actually, because we said that we will not allow any misunderstanding to go like
Mm-hmm.
we sleep over it and not resolve it. And if I can count, it probably happened in 20 years, happened maybe 4 times that we had misunderstanding and we didn't make up before going to bed. We always, it was something we said, and 4 times out of in 20 years.
Even though some of us don't really want to make up.
Some people, 4 times in like 20 years.
But some
No.
people are good at making up. Some people are
Well,
very good at it.
but
So
I've also learned, like, in those few times that you weren't willing to talk, I just gave you your space, and then you
because
came.
we communicate differently. The way I am, when I'm upset, when I'm angry, I don't talk.
Yeah.
I just, because if I say something, I might say the wrong thing. So instead of saying something the wrong thing, I just keep quiet.
No, me too. I just watch you.
But he would now be poking you so that you don't have a
I'm
choice.
like, you can't keep quiet,
It can
because
be
I
so
know
annoying.
because I know you are not naturally quiet. So if you are quiet, I know something is up. So my own is just to make sure I diffuse the tension and make sure that we come together. And even randomly, sometimes maybe she just, not necessarily because I did anything wrong, but maybe it's just different things happening, and then maybe she's quiet, and then I know that this woman that is quiet, there's something going on with this lady. So one of the things is that even though I'm an introvert, I can be very, very comedic. I can be very funny.
Yeah.
So I just try to create an atmosphere where she just come out of that, and sometimes by poking her or just doing my face or doing my funny dance around the house and stuff like that. And the children would laugh, but it's okay. It's my house. That was how we started, and we're not gonna change because you guys are around. We enjoy that. Yeah.
Practice number 9. Practice advanced forgiveness with each
Oh
other.
yes.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
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 For somebody listening, that is a big one.
I think for us it's been that.
Yeah.
And like I did share. I always I do that with even people with relationship
Mm-hmm.
outside just the two of us, where you just believe the best of each other.
Yeah.
You don't believe that she's gonna hurt me, or maybe she did something that intentionally to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
And also, even if that is the case, I forgive even before the offense takes
Mm-hmm.
place. And that has really, really, really helped us.
Yeah.
It has really helped us. I cannot overemphasize the importance of that. Practicing advanced because there is no way that you're not going to offend each other.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma always said this, which I still don't understand what that means. She always said that the teeth and the tongue fight, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how do they fight?
They live in the same place. They're in the mouth.
So when the teeth bite the tongue, that's the fight.
Yeah.
But they make up because the teeth knows that
It
it
needs
needs
the
the tongue.
tongue.
So without understanding that you need each other, you need one another, you make sure that you practice advanced forgiveness so that you don't allow things to fester. So that's what the enemy will take
Yeah.
advantage of.
Yeah.
And also you have somebody who says something. People are always, you know, there's so much information that can, once the enemy see that there's a this thing between you, he can easily come in and
Mm-hmm.
just make it bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. To somebody listening, and they might be saying, "Oh, but really, do I have to? What does advanced forgiveness means? It just means that you choose to forgive the person
No,
before they even
you,
offend you."
yeah.
And I often say this way: you like me as a person, I also offend people.
Mm,
I offend people. So if I think that I offend people, people are going to offend me. It's a normal thing.
yeah.
And so, but before they offend me, let me even prepare.
Mm,
Like I often say that because people are human. For me, people are human. I think that's really helped me. Like because people are human, I always just give them that iota that they might mess up because they are human. So when they even mess up, it's like, okay, you know what? They could have messed up because they're human beings.
mm,
So that way you're already prepared. Not that somebody now offends like your spouse, and you think, oh no, it's not possible. You've done the worst. I always say, but what about the things that you do to God? You are not the best of person, but God will always still forgive
oh yeah,
us.
oh yeah.
And He has given us the ability to also forgive others.
Mm.
And it starts with, if you're married, it starts with our spouse. No matter what
Well,
they might have done. Someone say, but you don't know what I go through in my own marriage. But no
mm,
matter what they might have done, we have the ability
yeah.
to forgive that
The
person.
Bible says that if we should, it said we should hold no man
Yeah.
but to love. The only thing we're allowed to hold any man is love.
Yeah.
So, and that's important. And when you look at what First Corinthians 13 says about love itself,
Yeah.
you just know that you have to practice, advanced
And
forgiveness.
and it actually is a choice that we
Yeah.
take. So I believe that like marriage, for example, is a call to maturity.
Mm.
So if you are going to stay married, is a call to say, I choose
Yeah.
forgiveness. I choose to
I
love the person,
I
and it
think,
comes with
and
forgiveness.
also I think he has to also do with spiritual maturity.
Yeah.
Maturity has nothing to do with age,
Mm-mm,
education,
mm-mm.
status, social status, and all that. It has to do with your spiritual maturity, because these things doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
All right. So there are some people who are just petty. They are just
Yeah.
petty. They fight over everything. They always have issue with everything. And
Mm,
if you are like that, please, you are not yet ready for marriage, because in marriage,
yeah. People are gonna push your buttons.
you are going to have to deal with a lot of things. So I would advise that you just make sure that you overcome some of those pettiness,
Mm,
and or else it won't work. Because if you cannot overlook things in marriage, it's gonna be a very, very long journey. So you have to learn to overlook. Sometimes you say things, I will just like, whatever. I will just, and not because, but because I know that if we keep exchanging words, it can lead to a misunderstanding that is not necessary. And misunderstanding is not a problem, because culturally, for some of us, I mean, from where we came from, when you say misunderstanding, it usually means there's a fight.
mhm.
Misunderstanding, no, it's not necessarily a fight. It just means I see things this way,
Two different opinions.
and when you find out that the way you see it is different it might be different from the way the other person, that's misunderstanding. But when you come together and you say, okay, this is why I see it this way, this is why, oh, okay, and then you guys can, work things out. So it's important to
Mm.
practice advanced forgiveness.
Yeah, it is. Number 10, be the best version of yourself.
Oh yes,
Mm.
oh yes. I remember before we got married, when um, the first meeting I had with your
With my
dad,
dad.
and he was saying that, I want my daughter to do this, I want my daughter to do that. I said, well, she will do it, and One of the things we encourage is, follow your dream, do whatever you want to do, be yourself. And a lot of people call me now, they complimenting me. They say, "Wow, uh, you know, you're releasing your wife to, you know, to do what she loves to do." And I'm so grateful to God that we've we are at that stage now where, right from the beginning, though, we've always been, secure in whatever we are all, both doing differently. Um, my joy would be for her to fulfill everything that God has placed in her heart. So we and she encouraged me to
Yeah,
follow
and
my
I think
dreams.
it's important for even each spouse to bring their own flavor to the table.
Mhm.
So whoever you are,
Are you vanilla?
maybe your
Oh,
chocolate.
chocolate. And when
So
you mix
bring
that, when
your
you mix vanilla and
vanilla
chocolate,
chocolate, you get
ooh,
cookies and cream.
and then you put some toppings, yeah,
Oh no,
it's gonna be a
this
yummy.
is
It's gonna be a yummy, yummy one.
Lord have mercy.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. So really bring your flavor, which means be the best version of you. Who are you as a person? Don't hide yourself in marriage behind, like some people become shadows behind their husband.
Mhm.
Let's meet the real you. Be the best version that you can ever be. If you need to, whatever training you want to get, whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
be
I,
ready to
I I
be
think
the
I think
best
sometimes
version.
what they do is, especially for those who maybe they didn't get to meet the person that they want, their spouse on time.
Yeah.
Maybe they've been waiting and they think, oh, I'm getting older. I might not be able to get, maybe for
A
ladies, when
spouse.
you're getting to a certain age, especially in African culture, they begin to think, oh, I'm getting older and maybe I won't get younger men who'll be interested. All right. And because of that, what they do is they turn down their lights. They
Mm.
tend to dim it a little
Don't dim
bit.
your light.
So they
Wow.
dim it so that
Hmm.
the person can come.
Hmm.
They tone down their skill, their strength, their everything. And so when
Wow.
they get into marriage now, they want to now come out and present their real self, and then
Hmm.
that's where there's a problem. And then the other person like, I didn't know all these things.
Who are
Who
you?
are you?
Hmm.
Because you have to show your real self right from the beginning.
Hmm.
So that the person see you see the real, the full you.
Hmm.
Full disclosure.
And also, what we don't realize is that when we're the best version of ourselves,
Mm,
we actually are adding to the relationship.
absolutely.
So you are adding to the spouse is adding to you.
Because God raised you
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
complement that person.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And if you kind of tone it down a little bit,
Yeah.
just because you think the person will accept you by toning it down, then you are making a
Hmm.
mistake, because now you put the person in a difficult position to actually be able to see you as you are, and then be
Hmm.
able to support you to become, your unique self. So it's important. It's important to always make sure that you are the real you. Don't hide anything. Just and celebrate you.
Yeah.
All right.
Your unique self. You're
Yeah.
unique. You're specially made. You're a
Mhm.
masterpiece. Celebrate you.
She's more of a speaker now. I am more in the marketplace. Like, I'm running some businesses, and we're doing two different things. Uh, one of the things I'm working on now is to work myself out of day-to-day operation of the business, so that I can have more time to support her as she has supported me, all these years. For to
Yeah.
support her
But
and
you
really
support
support.
me even now.
Well, I do, but in my heart I just feel like I can do more, and I need to
Ah,
do more. So yeah, you keep challenging yourself. You might not tell the other person, all the time, but your action, you just in your heart,
yeah.
you're like, I just want to help her to fulfill everything that's inside her.
Yep. Number
Okay.
11. Oh, this is a big one. Remember to create time to laugh and have fun along the way. So the journey can be stormy, but learn to intentionally have fun.
Yep.
That's a big plus for him.
We
He's a
travel
very
a
play.
we travel a lot and playful, and we have fun. We also like to travel together as a family. Before we had children, we did some. After the children came, that didn't stop us. We love to travel. This last summer we couldn't, because we had some things going on at the church, so we couldn't go. And then the COVID thing, the last, I think the
In the
last
last
time,
year and a half. Yeah.
yeah, I haven't really gone anywhere really.
But
You have
normally,
been, you were in England last
yeah.
August, last year August, 2020. Then you traveled to Ottawa this last summer. but I haven't with my with our daughter. But I haven't gone anywhere really. But we love to travel. We love to have fun. We love to, family. One monthly we go out to eat out as a family. Even when we didn't have much, we just kind of create time around that. It's not every time you spend money, so much money to have fun.
Yeah.
It's just being intentional. We used to have family movie night. Just sit down and watch a movie. Uh, you know, yeah, but you just find a different season. You do different things.
Yeah.
So don't just say, "Oh, we have to watch movie until we are 90 years old." Mm-mm. Things could
And then
change.
he's very playful, so he can
Yeah,
sometimes they can just that funny faces.
I did it.
Just it's very so. I think for me, sometimes even that comedy of just seeing that playful person is very
And
interesting.
sometimes too, things are, even when we're going through storming times,
Yeah,
just being able to laugh through it,
we have to be able to.
laugh and just laugh, and that just kind of help us to go through all that as well. So create time for fun. Don't be too serious about like, I gotta do this. Oh, we got it. Just calm down. Calm down, and you find out that there are things that we tend to worry about that.
They have a way of taking care of
Yeah,
themselves if
yeah.
you commit it to God's hands.
hmm Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And number 12 is support each other's dreams. So
Mm,
we're gonna round up with that one.
yeah. So,
Support each other's dreams.
hmm
We've said a little bit about it,
yeah.
but yeah, if you
hmm
want to say more.
Yeah, we do that. Like I was saying earlier, I want to support your dream more. I remember when for you know you've been telling me now to share more of our story because people just see where we are now. They're like, oh, I want
Yeah,
to be like that, but they
you
don't
don't
know where
know.
we're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And I said there were times where things were really, really rough, financially and everything was tough. And there was a time my wife had to work graveyard hour, which was night shift for like 9 years together, about over nine
Yeah,
years,
9 or almost 10 years.
almost 10 years. And so during those times, it was tough. I remember the other day I was in the car about 2 months or so ago. I was talking to our second son, and I told him how much you were earning per annum at that point, and he looked at me like, "Dad, really?" I said, "Yeah," and he was like, "Wow, wow." And then
But that was what was available at the time.
and she was
So
working 40 hours a week. She would not sleep, and then,
there was so
there
much
was there
going
was
on.
church, the children, and I honestly I have no idea how she did it.
It was
So
God.
and then we got to a
Mm.
season where we just knew where it was time for her to stop that job, and I said to her, you know what, don't worry, resign the job. God is going to take care of us, and she did that, and you know, by the grace of God, I just said to her, I said, you know what, I just want you to follow dream, and God bless our business in a way where one thing I told her, I said, well, whatever your income was before will be replaced so that you can do what is in your heart to do. Because I have seen a lot of women follow the dream of the man, or the man rather, and then they will just go on and on and on following that dream, and they will never bring out their own dream to pursue. So, and sometimes you find out that, God forbid, if anything happens, the woman is trying to find herself. She doesn't even know who she is anymore. But I thank God that she's been, and a lot of people see her now doing all the things she's doing.
But
She
they don't know
has
where I'm
she
coming
has
from.
sown the seed for her to be able to get the harvest that she's getting right now. So, and that's why I'm, just try to support her, you know, in any way I can, financially, emotionally, spiritually, everything, just to make sure that she follow her. And she does the same for me, too, to make sure that I keep doing what I have to do. The church, the business, you know, and so much more that I'm doing. So it's a, yeah, like the John Maxwell thing. For many years, she wanted to do. It was last year.
Yeah,
It
for
got
like
done.
8 years I wanted to
She
do.
was on a vision board, but the finances were not there. And last year was a pleasant surprise when,
Yeah.
and to encourage her, I did it too. I've not been using it,
Yeah.
but we're both certified. John
You use
Maxwell.
it, just don't use it as much as I do.
Yeah, but I intend to
Yeah.
because I know I have a lot to give.
But it's
More.
just really just supporting whatever the other person's dream is.
Yeah, just
Support them, even
kind
if you
of,
don't understand. Because sometimes we don't even understand what that person's dream is. It
to be,
doesn't even look.
to be honest, sometimes I look at it, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing
Yeah.
that. I'm like, can you just do one thing? And but then I'm like, okay, I'm just to support, keep praying, keep encouraging. Of course, I see things that will make you better, be able to like, okay, consider this. Because there's a way you will suggest something to somebody and it's like a negative criticism, but there's a
Yeah.
way that it will be a constructive one. And the person will see that, okay, this person is part of my team. Let me see, because when you borrow somebody's pair of eyes, sometimes you see some dimension to things or perspective to things that you know you probably didn't see. So
Mm.
it's always good. But yeah, she's following her dream, and I'm happy that she's following her dream. So that whether we live to 120 or 100
Yep.
years old or whatever it is, when we all both get to the end of our lives, it's not gonna be like she followed my dream and she abandoned
Mm.
her. It will be like she followed her dream and I follow my dream, and together we fulfill the assignment that God has placed over our lives. That
Mm.
that is the motivation here.
Mm.
She's unique. I'm unique. God brought us
Yep.
together as a couple, and then we all have a purpose. He has purposes for us. We have a unique assignment for our lives, but together He brought us together to fulfill that together by helping one another, and that's basically what it's all about. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Woohoo! So those are the 12 things that have helped us try. We hope that maybe one, two, three, four, or all of them will help you in your journey. As well, whether you are a newly married couple, you are one that is in the middle, you are maybe older years in marriage, whatever it is, we hope one of them would have helped you. Thanks for being with us. God bless you.
thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Bye. See you next time.